Hello. I'm still calibrating few things. Nearly there. Nearly there. Okay. Okay. And here I am. Hello. Good afternoon to everyone. I still have a few things to finish. I posted on Facebook, on Twitter, on Discord, but I'm missing the I'm missing our calendar, so I'm putting it as well on our calendar. Yep. Okay, I'm done. Nice. Okay, what I want to do today is to work a bit on the server statistics. So basically, the old game had the possibility to log user activity and to log wait, yes, exactly. So that is the old old game, right? And he actually had some statistics, which I don't know exactly how up to date they are, so I have no idea if these are still working. Probably not. But he was basically logging the number of characters, the players online. So for example, under characters, you can see the players online, and you can see the stats. Now, all of this has been done quite some time ago, and to tell you the truth, I don't remember at all how this is generated. I have no idea anymore. I mean, I remember a few things because also I did some changes to it over the years, but very, very little. And now I think it would be nice to have these graphs working again. I just don't know where is all of this stuff recorded, right? I don't remember. There are few reports for sure that they are generated on the machines, and this is what I was trying to figure out. But yeah. So we need to understand this. Now, I don't think it's documented anywhere. So unfortunately, I think if I search for server reporting, well, actually, there is something in this page. There is something in this page. There is something in this page because this one was a project that we were proposing to the Google Summer of Code a long time ago, and I think this one has never been developed, right? But yes, we use this RRD tool now that I remember. Yes, this RRD tool, which is the report that is creating the graphs. DK website. I don't need the no. Okay, so I think that this analysis package is a good one, but I don't think we have any server reporting page. So I think we need to create some documentation on this, because otherwise I will never, remember. Unfortunately, sometimes, I mean, we are documenting well the code, but we are not documenting well the tools. By the way, meanwhile, hello Maui, hello Hula, good afternoon. And what about your idea? I take a little rest for now. Yes, I took it. I took it yesterday evening. Yesterday evening and this morning, I took a little rest. Yeah. Yeah, in theory it was also today, but I want to work a bit on this thing. Yes, it's a tool that we made ourselves. Yes, it's part of the reporting. But I think we need to create a new page and describe it. Should we create a page under? I think it should be here somewhere, because it's not just Unreal Engine. I think it's also the old game, right? I think we need to study a bit this thing, because I don't. Okay, let's create just a new page, okay, which is called server reporting. And because server design, I think the server design, let me see if server design has that. Gem, progression event, action, location, mining, network message, design. No. But I think under server design is not a bad place. Yeah. I think that is the right page. Okay, let's put it here and let's call it server reporting or something like that. Server reporting and data mining, because at the end is basically mining the data that we have, right? Server reporting and data mining. Now will be very interesting to know what kind of report we have today, because I think I created some report myself, but they are kind of all over the place, so like we never actually created a single view. I think these ideas were very good ideas, so I think we will put it as a kind of a wish list, right? So I will put a kind of a wish list here. So wish list, and I will just link this analysis package, okay? Because I think is the right. So we say described the analysis package done for Google Summer of Code, right? Never implemented, but I think that I have some additional statistics. Let me see, because I already worked. I have some reminder. Ah. Ah. I found something. I cannot show it to you at the moment because it's another site, but retention time. Ah. I can make a screenshot maybe, but yeah, let me take a screenshot. So I have in our internal website, which is the one where we manage the game rules, right? So where we can change, for example, I don't know, the power of some weapons or stuff like that. I created some time ago, right? All this stuff, like new accounts, hardware, operating system, new characters, retention time, character stats, character endurance, character agility. I don't remember exactly what is all this. But for example, if I click on character stats, I think it is pretty good actually. If I click on character stats, so I clicked on this one, endurance, right? This one is telling me the last time it was regenerated was 2009, okay? So it was a bit of time ago. But it's basically telling me the average statistics of character created in a given quarter after a certain amount of playing hours. So it's telling me, analyzing all the characters in the game, how much endurance they have after 11 hours of gameplay, 22 hours of gameplay, 55 hours. So basically we can see here the average and now it goes up, right? I don't know why this number is so weird. Like this number is really not in line, right? Okay, what we can do, because so because we have different tools, so we have this tool which is already extracting a lot of statistics. And by the way, this tool is this tool available? Is this tool available or not? Yeah, this tool I think it should be available. The problem is, where do I have it? This tool should be available here. Yes, under web console, right? The last time we changed the web console was, wow, 30th of May 2020. Holy shit. So Ravna did some changes on this file very recently. Was probably a request from the rules department that they probably needed to see some more stuff. Yes, the idea of the resources, because we needed it. Yeah, I know why. We needed it when we were doing the conversion to Unreal. But I think that what we can do, we can, did I do some changes myself recently? Did I do some changes? I don't know what changes I did here. I was probably checking something, but I don't know why. I did some changes on IP logging. And I think I didn't do any other change, but okay. So the idea is, considering the database of Unreal is pretty much the same as the database of the PlaneShift old game, right? We can work on that. Now, I think that this view is already very cool because we already have a lot of stats. So let me do this. Completed quest, pending quest. I think these two, yeah, I think these two ones that have these markers are probably very heavy. Character money. Now I remember that I had this trip about statistics already another time, and what you see on screen was that trip. So I really went like, "Ooh, I need statistics," and so I went crazy about it, and I created all of this, and I kind of remember it. The problem is that this view is available only taking data from the database. It's not generated by the server in any way, right? So this is just reading the database. So for example, the database is not aware of how many players are online right now, right? Or is not aware of the overall economy. So like how many items of a specific type have been sold or bought in a specific period of time, just because we don't save that kind of information to the database. By the way, I think my head is too big. Huh? My head. Boom. But I think it's a good tool, though. I think it's a good tool. I think so. The question is, do we want to expand this one, adding also the server side? Or do we want to continue to use two tools, one that is runtime and one that is basically offline on the database? Probably we need to continue to use two of them. And we also need to check if these things are actually operational. So I think the first thing I need to do, I need to enable, no. I don't have a web server running on my machine at the moment, but we can have it running. And I can check if, I think I have a multiple Apache, I have multiple Apache available on this machine, at least two. They are a bit old, but you know, we don't really care that they are old, because they will work anyway. I can also upgrade maybe to a new Apache. What is the newest Apache version existing? .446, where we already are on 2.4, so I think it's okay. Now my 2.4 may be fairly old, but for sure we should not use the 2.2, but I think the 2.4 can be okay. Now we can check where this 2.4 is pointing at. Potentially okay, he's pointing here. Okay, so we have a web server. Yes, but the web console is not available at the moment. Okay, let me find out just a few things, because I didn't do it in a long time, so I need to recall what the hell we are doing here. In theory, I should have under somewhere under my programs, or under connectivity, or under develop. Is here Apache 2.4. Okay, so here we have the Apache, right? We have the HTTPD conf, but here I don't see any. Okay, so let me take this one and put web console, and this one will point to. Now, I don't know if this thing is still fully functional, but we will see it very, very soon. It will point to this, right? And it will point to web console new. So now let me restart this guy. Ow. He didn't like it. Why didn't like it? I don't know. It's the same as the other one that I have. Why didn't like it? Because it contains a space. Because it contains a space. I don't know. I can do this. I can do this. Okay. He didn't like the space for whatever reason. Aha. Okay. Okay, so now we have the Apache 2.4 working on the web console. Now, the only thing that we want this web console to use my installation. Now, which installation we want it to use? I don't even remember how to freaking do this. Okay, let me document a bit of this, because I think if I don't document it, I will forget again. Okay, so let's say that we have a static view on the database, right? So the static view on the database is provided by web console. Provided by web console with the following statistics. Okay, and I can just copy this list, I think, and I can put it here. Okay, so these are all the statistics that we have. Do you think this guy can make it? Nice. Nice. Okay. So to operate it needs the Apache running, right? The Apache running with proper web directory, with proper example, and I think we can put here exactly the example that I put here, so we don't forget another time, right? So we don't forget another time. Can I have it as a code? I think to have it as a code, I can just do this. Yes. And then, you know, we need what? Then we need... how is it even reading the database? I think he has under secure. Just wait a second, because under secure, I don't know if I will have specific passwords or whatever. I don't think so, because it's in SVN. But anyway, no, exactly. There is nothing. So he's using. Okay. So let's say that the config is in //secure db configuration, right? db config. So it's inside of this thing, right? The config is in And so here we are configuring the actual database. So in this case, is connecting to my local host with plane shift everywhere, which is the default. And so I think that we can just enter as guest. This is what is the potentially, yes. Why so slow, by the way? Funny. It's telling me that this website just got my password, but it's my website. It's pretty fun. Okay, so here we are. What you see here is basically the web console that we use internally to manage the game. Okay, and this web console has been very useful during the years because it is allowing me, for example, to search NPC by area, right? And for each NPC, I can find his characteristics. I can find what is his description, which are the stats, where he's located, which is the character type, how much HP he has, how much mana, right? So all of this has been developed quite some time ago, but it's still very useful. It's helpful for us to manage the different stuff in the game. I can also check his traits in case he has. In this case, he has no traits. Items, if he has any items. Training, merchant, and so on, right? Now, this one is a very simple NPC, so basically it doesn't have anything. Now, what the thing that I was looking at is here under statistics, which is something that I added fairly recently. I mean, 10 years ago, but I mean, recently compared to everything else. And now I need to understand how this thing works. But basically here at the bottom you have the different select that we do on the database. And the only problem is, how is this thing reading the data? Because in theory, under accounts, right, I have data. Well, I don't know actually if in the dummy database I have it or not, but yes. For example, there is operating system, OS. So there is some information here. I mean, not much, but there is some. So why is not showing up? That's a good question. 10. Threshold for filtering results. What is this 10? I have no idea. Having result greater than 10. Because it's okay, so this threshold is basically the minimum number of count results coming from. So if I put like 1, I think it makes sense as the default is okay, I think there's something bad is happening. So why this select is not returning anything? Because in theory it should. So maybe the code is broken. Huh? Let me just do something because I don't want to do it on the real database because it will take us forever. So let me make this database as a default for now. And let me start a new SQL editor. And okay, yes, you see that there is something popping up, right? So actually we got a result, but for some reason, I think all of those should return a result. Yes, is returning a result. So why is upset here? Seems that he really doesn't like it. Stats are, I think we are going inside this one. First thing that he's telling us is that there is a problem on line 8, undefined offset. Undefined offset? What the hell does it mean? What? What does it mean, undefined offset? Undefined offset? So he's saying that basically an array, sorry, it's in Italian, but he's basically saying that I'm trying to access an array. Okay. Where I'm trying to access an array on this line, I have no idea. It's giving me an error on this line. Maybe it's inside, maybe it's check access. Okay. Maybe it's check access. Maybe it's in check access that he cannot. No, sorry, graph functions. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong file. Haha. So it's under graph functions. Okay. So, yes, line name number 2. Output graph, but who is doing this? Output graph functions, statistics. So graph function is this one, but is this function getting called by who? By someone down here? Yes, by this guy. So he's doing our query. He's checking if the result of the query is okay, and then he's doing an output graph query 0. Okay. So basically query, I don't know why it's called query, but it's actually the result, okay? It's actually the result. So he's then getting this as a result, and then he's searching the number 2. Okay, I think I understand what he's trying to do. 0, 1, and 2. So he's basically searching this one, right? But he doesn't like it. I think the query failed. My take on this is that the query failed, because otherwise it would not say this. I think our query, which is this one, I think this query failed for whatever reason. Even if the query failed, we should have, you know, got this message, but we didn't get this message. Pum, 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 pum. Why? What is this fetch SQL as such? Is it standard PHP or what? Yeah, he's probably calling that one. So this one is probably inside our standard common functions, I think. It's possible. Is fetching, is calling this one, which is fetching an array, and this one is doing fetch array, and fetch array, and fetch array, I think is a default one. Yes. A fetch array is a default one. Why is it not working? I don't know why it's... Okay, let's try something else. Let's try to just change the code. Instead of, I don't know, maybe the numbers, it doesn't like it anymore. Maybe. Let's try to print out result, okay? And see if result is something that he likes. So yes, it seems that result is something that he likes. So it seems that he needs to have why I can access it only by name and not by number? That is kind of weird, considering that our query is returning 3 values, right? So it's returning 0, 1, and 2. So actually, the row number 2 should be available. But for some reason, it's not. But, you know, the problem is that we are using this one everywhere. This output graph, we are using it everywhere, I guess. And so if I put here the actual, can I do something like that? Probably not, huh? Hello, Freedom. The game is updated. Yes, we did a new release. We did 078 release. I don't understand why this fetch array. Should I just do a normal fetch and that's it? Instead of using... I'm using this MySQL query too, right? Which I don't know exactly what is it, but it's this one. MySQL query to microtime, blah, blah, blah. It's just doing a normal query. Something changed. I mean, in the newer releases, something changed because it seems like I cannot access anymore. It seems I cannot access anymore. MySQL result undefined offset when accessing array by number. Why? Ma no. Ma no. MySQL query result. I think I'm doing something stupid. This extension was deprecated in PHP 550. I have no idea which PHP I have at the moment on this machine, but I don't think I'm using MySQL fetch association, right? We are using fetch array. We are using, why I'm doing all this complex stuff while I can just, you know, get the results from my thing. I think the problem is this fetch array. Which, by the way, seems it doesn't exist anymore. It's deprecated, huh? Hey, it's deprecated. It's deprecated, but we still use it. Decided not to rest. Well, I rested a bit this morning and yesterday, but then I wanted to work a bit on the statistics stuff, and so I joined again. Made feature that collects hardware specs automatically, so you have easy ability to update. Yes, we are collecting hardware information automatically. So the client, when you connect to the game, the client is collecting operating system and graphic card information and is putting it in the database. Hello, Shimon. Hello. The problem, I think, that I have a fairly old infrastructure here in my SQL stuff, and I think that the result this fetch array, did I invent it or is it standard? I mean, is it, because I see a MySQL fetch array, but I don't see a fetch array, right? And because it's on MySQL or MySQLi, how you would call it in English. But basically I'm getting an error when I'm trying to access the results in a numeric way instead of right. And this is what I'm doing here. I'm doing what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm doing result fish array mode, and I'm doing it, yes, recursively. What is fetch array? I don't know. I think it's maybe an old function that we were using, and now it's kind of broken a bit. It doesn't seem to work anymore as expected, but because here we are extracting stuff without without names, just by numbers. So I want to access my array like this. While I think that this one is returning names. Let me do the simplest possible, okay? Let me do the simplest possible and see if that one is using again my SQL fetch array. Fuck. I think something changed during the years, and now for us is GG. And now for now is GG. What does he want? Okay. Why doesn't like me? I have my result of the query, right? Which is coming through this, which is the result of my MySQL query. Why it doesn't like it? I think I'm mixing things. I think I'm mixing two ways. Okay, let me try to understand one thing first, because I think I'm making myself harder life than... Okay, let me just remember MySQLi MySQL improved extension, introduction. The MySQLi extension allows you to access the functionality of MySQL, blah, 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 more information, blah, blah. Recommendation. So it's basically an extended version of MySQL, right? And he has all this nice stuff. The problem is that I cannot access with it. No, I mean, the quote is not a problem. I tried without, so originally it was without. The problem is that it's extracting only by name, okay? Is extracting only by name, and I cannot get it by number. The problem is that I need it by number. And for some reason, if I do it by number, it's saying that it cannot do it. right? Even if the resulting query is giving me this, so it's giving me 3 columns. And so number 2 should be absolutely valid, and number 1 as well should be absolutely valid. And so I'm just trying to understand why, if I call a MySQL E fetch array, I'm getting an error on the offset. SPID? What the fuck is SPID? What? No, SPID, thank you. Okay. This guy said, you cannot access by number, access it by name. Okay, but I don't want to access it by name. I want to access by number. I want to access by number. Why I cannot? MySQL fetch row. Okay, yeah, this is what I was looking for. Okay, MySQL fetch row. I needed MySQL E though, but does it exist? MySQL E fetch row. There is a fetch row. There is a fetch row. Maybe that's enough. I don't know. No, fetch row, it doesn't like it. MySQL E fetch row. Okay, MySQL E fetch row. Okay. Why was it working before? I mean, this page has not been changed in like 10 years, right? So the question is, why why it was working before? I don't know, maybe because during the years the versions of MySQL changed, then Apache, PHP changed, then I don't even know which kind of which, I have no idea. I have no idea if I'm using version 5.6. She's anyway pretty old. But anyway, that's what I'm using. It's pretty old because it's made 2016. Sorry, 2016. So is anyway kind of old, but it's okay. Yeah, but I think this one is using a newer version than the one that I was using originally, for sure. And so I think that that is the reason. Probably. Okay, but anyway, fine. Okay, so this one is retrieving this one is retrieving this thing, right? So it's saying there are three people which are using Windows 10 release blah blah blah. There are 3 people that are using this NVIDIA GeForce whatever, and there are 3 people that are using this driver, which is basically all me. Okay. These are 3 accounts that are like me. I could connect this to the production database and see what happens, right? just for fun. So if I go here and I connect to, I mean, it's not really the production, it's a copy of production on my machine. DB name prod2, right? So if I do the same, obviously the result will be very different, right? So that is the total number of accounts. Unfortunately, it's not filtered by date, okay? So it's not filtered by release. I think it would be nice to filter it by release. Yeah, I think it would be very nice to filter it by release. Because otherwise, you know, we have a date, and how do we do it? I think we should do it by login. I think we can do it by login, by login date. So if I take the last login, I assume that the last login is, if I take the last login, which is this field, I may compare it with kind of a release number, and we can then filter it properly, right? Yes, I think I like that. I think, by the way, all the stats should be done this way. So there should be just a generic function to extract the version number. And then based on the version number, why I don't have it already? I don't think I have it. But we can add it. I mean, it's sometime I don't program it with PHP, but it's okay. We can do this. So let me do a new function, okay, which will be output version, PS version, let's call it PS version dropdown. Output PS version dropdown, right? And this one will basically drop down. Yeah, there is only a problem that the accounts they were playing at that time and now they play the new release, they will override their data, but I don't think we have a way to work around it. Yeah, that data is actually always me with 3 accounts, yes. Hello, Zwei. Welcome. So we will do something like that, okay? And what we want to return, we want to return a very simple select option. What is the select option? 1, 2, 3. Select option 1, 2, 3. Yes. So name and ID. So name. So select. Okay. So it's the name of the select and is the name. Okay. The name of select will be PS version. And the ID, I don't really care. Will be also PS version. And then we will have inside of this new options. So we will have option value, and the value, I need the ID. Yeah, the value, I think we go by, okay, the value will be AB. And then there is what? End option. Okay. And this will be atomic blue. Now the problem is, but I think it's fine. So we will have options like that. We don't have too many releases, so we have like 4 or 5 releases. So we have atomic blue, molecular blue, crystal. The problem of crystal blue is that it was so long, it was like 10 years, but anyway. So we had Crystal Blue, then we had what? Azure Spirit, and then we had PS Unreal, right? And then we just do it by date. No? I think we just do it by date. So it would be something like that, and then /select. Now this will only return this thing, right? So basically, in my stats hardware at the beginning, I will have this nice form, and I will echo this potentially, maybe. Okay, we have our drop down with the different releases. Now I need to put it in the filter though. Where is the filter? The filter. Yeah, the filter is there. I think it's okay. So the filter, input type, hardware, input type, text, blah blah blah, input type, submit. So now the submit, I want it after, right? So this stuff, I want it what? Threshold for filtering results. No, just the end form I want it after. Just the end form. This one can go, and then I need to echo end form, right? So that we have yeah, why the filter? The filter is because it's this thing. Yeah, because this one is the button. Yes. Threshold for filtering results. Can we put just threshold for filtering results, and then we can say filter by release, and we can put this, and filter threshold. So let's say minimum number of results required for filtering, for minimum number of result count, minimum number of result count required. Okay, I think it's more clear than. And then we have the filter by release, and then I need my filter option. Okay. Okay, I mean, it's not great, but this is what it is. Maybe the input, if we put it after, is a bit nicer. Okay, so we have these two things, and then we have the filter. Maybe also the filter, we can put it on another line, so it's slightly nicer. I mean, it's still programmers HTML, but at least we have this possibility. Okay, so now we can filter by release. Now the problem is that when we click on filter, we will take these parameters, and this parameter will be going into our query. Now we need to generate the query, right? So we will have another function which will generate the query by release. So this will be generate where close by PS version, right? So they were close by PS version. I don't know if you can see it because maybe it's at the bottom of the screen, but let me see if you see it. But I'm a bit on top of it. I have to stay like this. But anyway, okay, I will move it up a bit. Okay, like this. So what I need to do, yeah, now is the hard question. How do we define the dates? I think I defined the dates already when I give the achievements, right? When I give the achievements of which release you participated. Which, by the way, I don't remember. I have no idea how I do that. So that one is inside my plane. And that one... So that one is inside my plane. Okay. My plane is not public. I mean, the code is not public. So it's not in SVN, or at least it's not in that SVN. It should be maybe yeah, is it? Okay, 0. So now, oh my god, we did it with a controller and viewer. GG. I think it may be inside of this. Maybe inside of this when we do the... There should be an achievement something. Achievement tab. Okay, achievement tab. Achievement tab. Fill the gaps. Achieve. For each achievement. Yes, but... Achievements. Who is... no idea. Who is... Because if we can stay consistent, we'll be a bit better, right? Holy shit. So many files. Couldn't believe that. Char ID parameters. Show achievement tabs. Parameters. Parameters are coming from here. And the request. You know, I think it's easier if I do this. To search it. If I search created date inside of this, I think we will find it. Hopefully it's not coming from an external SQL, because that's also a possibility. That's also a possibility. I found something. Played Atomic Blue release. Before March 2003. Interesting. There was also Steel Blue. Oh, fuck. I forgot one release. There was also Arcane Chrysalis. Oh, fuck. I forgot another release. We also have Crystal Blue early release and Crystal Blue late release. Oh my god. Okay. No, I like this, but I think it's enough. I think it's enough. We don't need more than this. But now I'm confused. So Crystal Blue, we actually split it in 2 chunks. And I think it's okay. I can split it in 2 chunks. But then there was... Do we have a Wikipedia that tells us which releases we did? Because I don't remember all of them. Plain shift Wikipedia. And if not, we will update it. Can we have it in English? Because in Italian, so. No, there is not the list of releases. Come on. Who made this page? No. There is not the list of releases, boys. Ah, wait, there is something here in Italian. But why there is an As You Spirit that I don't have? I don't know. Steel Blue. Why after Steel Blue? Oh my god. Guys, help me. How many releases did we have? How many releases did we have? Fuck. How many releases we have? How many releases did we have? .063. Where do I find this? Oh my god, I need to find it in the news. The only way is in the news. The only way is in the news. So let me see if the numbers are matching at least. So the first version lasted until, but there is no date. But anyway, I think I'm gonna trust myself. So if I said March 2003, probably is really March 2003. So let's trust this list, okay? The problem is that there is an inconsistency between the Arcane Chrysalis release and the next one. Boys, but it's very easy. I go to our forums and I have them all. I guess. Maybe. Potentially. If I'm lucky. Okay, PlaneShift 0.6.3 release, okay. In PlaneShift 0.6.0 release, so did I put names to these things? So from 0.6.3, oh my god, so much stuff, boys. We need someone that is expert about our releases, boys. Come on, you can do it. I can also do it another way. Wait. I can also do it another way. I can check it in SVN because SVN is definitely updated and he has all the list, right? In theory. Like if I take the credits, Oh, exactly what I wanted. Okay. Oh, this is probably where I took the stuff, you know? So there was a still okay. So let me see if it matches, but I hope it does. I think it does. I think it does match. I'm pretty sure it does match. So let's say let's say this, okay? Let's say this. Wait, what happened here? Fuck. Because I pasted it vertically, so okay. So yeah, basically Atomic Blue, we should go from the beginning, which is, by the way, 2002. Right? 2002, what? Was there a date? So we do also a bit of history, right? We do a bit of history. 10 February 2002. Nice. Hello, Yorlak. Okay, so we do a bit of history, yeah? So just for the record, then we do Molecular Blue, which is going from March 2003. Well, we can say April. I don't know the exact release date, but the exact date, I don't know. But do we want the exact date? Hey, the exact date. The exact date. The problem is that I think that the credits has been changed. I see October 2007 here, but I think is wrong. Is when this is when the no, that date unfortunately is not relevant. The date is here, 2003-03-07. Nice, I placed it. Nice, we have it. So that is so 07 March 2003. Okay. Why then here I said December 2004? Ah, yes, because December 2004 probably is the next one. Then we have Crystal Blue, but Crystal Blue we split it into two. We split it into late and early because it lasted so long that so we have an early Crystal Blue and a late Crystal Blue, right? And the early Crystal Blue, this I think is a bit tough to understand, but this was 24/12/2004. Right. '23. So this one we go up to 23, and this one we go up to 6. Okay. The 6th of March. Okay. Then okay, so we have these dates, which is nice. I mean, at least we are reconstructing history a bit, right? I can put it on Wikipedia next, but so Okay. So this one is 24 December 2004, and then there is, I have this July date. This July date was probably 020. I have an October 07 there. Here I think I decided myself a kind of a split, just dividing exactly in two. Yeah, this is what I did. I divided exactly into the, so let's do a 15 July 2006. Let's just decide it this way, okay? And here I have a 16 July 2006. And it goes to the next one, which is a steel blue. I didn't place the date. Fuck. I placed only December 2008. December 2008. December 2008. December 2008. Fuck. Our history doesn't go back that much. I mean, actually it goes back to 2006, but why I didn't okay, anyway, it's okay, okay, it's okay. I don't have the exact date. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Let's say December. Let's say the 15th of December. Okay. I don't have the date, unfortunately. I could check. But why here I say March 2008, and in reality here is December 2008. Maybe because here. I don't know. It is saying 2 March 2008. 2 March 2008. It is saying December, but maybe this one was the you know, the older version of it, because inside this release we did multiple sub releases. Second of March. 2nd of March. Second of March. Second of March. You may ask yourself, why is this important? I don't know, it's actually not important. But since I do it, I try to do it right. But oh my god, how many check-ins there were at that day? There was like 5 check-in per day. Wow. Wow. Insane. There were so many check-ins at that time. Let me see if in March we have a kind of a tag. 2nd of March 2008, anyway, we updated the... but it's the updated version. I think we should have... updated history.txt. Now I need to... I don't see the version upgrade. What was the file that we were using to update the version? I think we had a kind of a version file, no? Version file. I think we had a version file somewhere. No? No. Or was it in updated info? Yeah, it was probably inside updated info. Okay. There is no release date. Okay, let's consider March. Okay, it's fine. I don't know. I think it's too hard to go back and check. But okay, fine. Let's consider March 2008. I don't know. Let's take the 15 because we don't know exactly. So let's take the 15 March 2008. Then so we will do here 14 actually, and here 15. And then here we will have a 15 March 2008 and December 2009. I don't know exactly the next one, but okay. So after Steel Blow, we had Arcane Chrysalis 5.0, December 2009. Okay. December 2009. Let's say 15 again, okay? So here will be like 14. So then we had this one. And this one was what? This one was the 15 December 2009. And then this one lasted until, I guess, this one. It was in 2012. I think this one was called Azure Spirit, right? But I think the main version was still this one. But we called it October 2012. We called it I think we called it Azure Spirit, right? Was the version name displayed on the website? Somehow, but yeah. Somehow. Azure Spirit 06, 061, 061. 063, 2014. I think it's 060, but I'm not sure if it was called Azure Spirit already. That's the point. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. For sure it was 06. The problem is that I didn't place the name in this freaking log that I pasted. I didn't put the name of the release, which is incredible. So I didn't put the name of the release. I just put the number. I didn't put the name. So I have all the name. If I want from the numbers, I can have all the numbers, but I don't have the fuck. Anyway, I mean, it's not that important. But you know, sometimes traceability is harder than you think. I can check the splash screen. In theory, the splash screen, right? The splash screen new splash screen, but it doesn't, I mean, yeah, it doesn't, I mean, it's not, maybe we change the splash screen after, you know. I have no idea, boys. I think I will have to do some heavy digging to actually understand, but it's okay. I think directionally we are fine. Directionally we are fine. For sure, Azure Spirit was existing already in 2013, and probably, yeah, in 2013. So when we changed the splash screen, it was in 2013. Release November 13. Yeah. Okay. Let's assume that is November 13. 15 November 2013. Okay. Now this one, which is the latest, I should have the files, but okay, I think we are nearly done, eh? This was a bit of archaeology, but a bit of archaeology actually, but it's okay. Now, when did we release the first Unreal version? We never released it, but we can say when was the first alpha. The first alpha, at least I have it in Patreon now, because in Patreon I'm tracking the release. I think the first one was 074, right? The first one was 07, no, oh fuck, no, it was 071, holy shit. May 2020, yes, May 2020. I think it was 04, but it's 71. Okay, so it was actually in May, 10 of May 2020. Okay, So we can say 19th of May 2020. Actually, this one is still Planeship PS Unreal Alpha. Okay. And it is 20th of May 2020 until today. Oh my god, this was tough, boys. This was a tough research. Okay. Okay, it's not perfect, but we have it. If any of you wants to dig more into the internet and try to find that, but should be okay. Okay, should be okay. So now, I think the fun part is now to filter all our database by these dates. Okay. So I think as an input we take the PS release. We take it as an input, and then we do if PS version equal to atomic blue. We are going to return where last login, right? Last login. We want a last login between dates, right? I think we need to do date. I think we need to do something like last login is greater or equal than. I think we need to do something like date, and then put this thing in the middle. But we will try. Let me see if this is doing it. I don't remember but we can test it. We can say select count from accounts where last login is greater than this. Is it a valid? It's saying 0. It's still saying 0. It's still saying 0. Okay. No, it doesn't like it. How do I do the date thingy? I want the date. I want the date format. Leave me alone with the cookies. Without date? No, I don't believe it. No, I need to create it with date, I think. Unix timestamp? What? Come on. Convert string to date. String to date? Okay. Okay. I remember it was simpler than this, but okay, there is not another way. We will do it like this. Okay. And I think there is a date, huh? There is a date value. So I don't know why I need to do it like this though. Compare, wait. Compare date. By the way, sorry. This table. What I have in the table? Because the question is this last login a datetime? Yes. Yeah. So I need to compare a datetime. Compare datetime with string, right? So this is what I need to do. Date start time. You see that he's using. Maybe he's using the opposite format, huh? So he's using. Wait. Wait. Maybe I just need to revert it because I think he has a default format. So with the month. Okay. Yeah, it just has a default format as year, month, and day. So that's why. Okay. I was remembering date, in fact. I was pretty sure it was date, but I couldn't do it. Okay, so we have last login date greater than. So we just need to be sure that we are express dates as year, month, day. Okay, so this is the way in which we should express them. So in this case will be 2002-02-10. Okay, so I think this will do it in theory. So and last login less than date no wait we just do less than. We don't care about the, I mean, we just do from the beginning, right? So let me just copy this line because I will use it multiple times, but the first one is just right, but the first one is just this one less than the 6th of March, right? So less than the 6th of March, then between the 7th of March, I will mess up the dates for sure. I will mess up these dates 100%. And 23/2004, 23/12/2004. Then, yeah, we should have else everywhere, I guess. Then we have so we will have a CB early and CB late, right? So actually here I have we will have a CB early and a CB late. Okay, so CB early is, what is it? 2004, 12, 24. I remember one end of year where I was compiling plane shift. I think it was this one. 07/15. But I remember one end of year, it was really end of year. I mean, it was like late 2006, 07/16, and date 2008, 03 14. Can you check that I'm not messing up the dates? Because I think I'm messing up for sure. I'm 100% sure I'm messing up some of the numbers. 2009, 12, 15, and 13, 10, 11, 14. And then we will have an AZ. 13 November 15, 20 May 05 19. Okay, and then we have the last one, which is we will call it PSU, we said, right? PSU. No, Unreal. I prefer PSU actually. PSU. But I think I'm missing Steel Blue here. Steel Blue. Fuck, where is Steel Blue? Oh my god, I missed it. I missed it. Yeah, I missed it. I missed it. Steel Blue was 15th of March 2008 and 14th of December 2009. Then 2009 December 14, 2013 November 14. Okay. 2013 11 15, 2020 May 19, and then PSU. Okay, is this one? Okay, I think we have them all. One. So let me just check if we have them up here. We have AB, MB, CBE, CBL, SB. Okay, SB. AC. Okay, I'm missing AC. AC. AZ. And PSU. Wow. Holy hell. That was tough. This was tough. I don't know why, but it was complex. It was complex to get all these dates right. Oh my god. Okay, so now can I go back to what I was doing? So basically now here we need to we need to append, right? So based on the choice, right? So based on the choice, which for us will be we called it what? PS version, huh? I think we called it PS version, yes. So if we have PS version, we will set PS version. PS version as a default. If there is no PS version specified, I think we can go with PSU. And then we get our PS version and we put it there. We do an escape in case people are trying to SQL inject us, which is always a good idea. And then we put into this query I think we put it here, right? So we already have a where. We just need to add an end. I mean, the end I need it all the time. So maybe I can just put it here. And then we get our generate where close by whatever. We get our generate where close by PS version, and we pass in our PS version. Okay, so in theory the first one should do it. I don't know, let's see. So in theory we should have this one here, and if I select molecular blue, we will see it at the bottom, because at the bottom we are printing all the query. Wow, no data found. So we did, maybe it was wrong. So we did a select ID from blah blah blah, where operating system is equal to is different than none, and the last login date is between 2003 and last login date is less than 2004. Now, is it possible that I don't know exactly when we started to collect this information, but is it possible that at that time we were not collecting information, right? Let me put this one as a default on PSU anyway. I don't know if we were collecting information since the very early releases. Maybe we were doing it later on. I think when we generate this thing, the default selected should be this one. I think it's selected, no? The tag. I think the tag is selected. PSU. No data found. PSU doesn't seem to be correct. Okay, let me check. PSU. AC, AZ, AC, AZ. AZ is... yes, the PSU, I didn't do it right. So this one should be between the 20th of May 2020 and today. Yes, thank you. So just be greater than, okay? I don't know exactly why it's always returning 0. But I can didn't like me. Okay, I didn't close the thing. Okay. I think it would be nice to print the current filter. Otherwise, I think is hard to understand, right? So when we I think we should print out. So if the filter is here, I think we can just print out, if the filter is here, we can say echo, and we can say filter used for query, and we can say whatever it is, $filter, and we can do the same here, like PS version used for query, right? So that you can see immediately on the page what the hell you are querying for. Otherwise, it's a bit annoying. Okay, so filter in this case, the filter used for the query was 1 minimum, and the PS version was AZ. So Azure. Let me see if these numbers are changing based on our filter. I think I can go 10 on Azure because is probably the one with the most data. Yes. I don't know why this number changed though. Because probably moved. He moved it. Okay, because this what this can tell us. Okay, the only problem is that if people logged in later on, so the regular people, unfortunately, they are all on the latest release. Okay, so even if they played all the releases, we will see their login only on the latest one, which is kind of annoying. But I don't have a better way to do it. But if we do like Crystal Blue early. But can I, instead of doing this, can I just set these two values? I think it would be easier. Eh? So for example, if I do Crystal Blue early, we don't have anyone in this threshold, but it seems to be working anyway. I assume it is working. I assume it is working. Okay, let's apply it also to all the other graphs so that we have the same results. Okay, so now we should be also in the other two queries. Can I do it better and just put here the value instead of this shit? Because what I did is a very bad idea. So I should put the default up here, you know, and I should read these values up here. And when I read the values, if I read the values, I should just put them here instead of that. So my filter should be here. It should be, I think I can do it if I do this, right? I think it should do it. And for the drop down, I need to pass in this one. So this one needs to become a function with a parameter. And it's a problem to do it here though, because I will have to make it like an array and then put oh my god. Yeah, I will have to make it an array and then iterate on the array and then select the one that is selected. Fuck. Do I want to do it? Fuck. I think we can. By the way, the array should be double. No, it's too much work. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. At least the threshold will be correct, okay? This one is a bit annoying to set. And so we will not do it. We will not do it. Because it's a bit annoying. I'm lazy on that. But at least we can avoid printing this one because this one is correct. But yeah, we need to change it to a... So if I go Azure Spirit 1, let me see what happens. Azure Spirit 1, so what do we see? What do we see? We see 3,304 people using Win32 64-bit, Windows 64 bits, which is the majority. Then we see still some Windows 32 bits, which is amazing, but anyway. We see some Unix, 2,000 logins. We see some macOS, 1,900. It is insane. This number is insane. No? It's very high. 1,900 Mac people? Wow. Wow. I mean, some can be the same person with different accounts, but still, it's a fairly big number. 923 with Unix 32 bits. 75 people with, I don't know, a different, I mean, I think it's this one, but this is just different Unix variation, so we don't know exactly. Wow, 22 with a Power PC. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, these ones are the new values I think that I put in. And one guy with this thing, which I don't know exactly, is a kind of an Ubuntu version. Okay, graphics cards. Graphics cards. Yeah, I choose one value. So as you can see, you basically have all the possible graphics card in the world. Right? You basically have all the possible graphics card in the world. GeForce, so all the possible GeForce, all the AMD Radeon, GeForce 9200. Yeah, this is where the threshold of 10 kind of makes sense, you know. But anyway, you can see all the, but anyway, it's working. Now the graphics version is not super relevant, but okay. So now, I think this technique, which we tested here, do we want to do this one right? Oh my God, because we will use it on all the others, like new accounts. So how many new accounts we add by quarter, by release. As you can see, unfortunately, this line is going down a lot. But, you know, I mean, it is because our game became less and less and less popular. Same for new character, retention time. Look at retention time. Between 3 and 30 minutes. Boom. 12,000 people. So 12,000 people decided after 3 minutes to just uninstall the game. Or anyway, they never made it after 3 minutes, after 30 minutes. That's the problem. Retention time is a very tough statistics, but it's very, very important for us. And okay, and these are the different stats by... Okay, I think we worked enough on this one, but I think it's working, and I think it's very interesting to see. There is this kind of recalculation thing, because since it's complex to calculate, we don't do it on the fly. We calculate it for a specific year, and then we display it. this graph basically says that the more you play, the more you get money into the game. Okay, that's a fairly easy one. What the fuck is this one? There is a super rich guy here. There is someone who is super rich. Oh my god. Look at the bar. 655 million stria. Holy Jesus. 655 million stria someone had. In this particular year, 2016 Q1. This is helping us to see if there are anomalies, you know, like people maybe have found a bug that they can exploit to make infinite money. And so this one is kind of helping us on this, right? Yeah, broken economy. But we could do it by release now, okay, which is nice. So I think I can apply the same filter that we just created, but on all these ones, right? So that is nicer, right? Because, you know, having the statistics for so much time, like 20 years, I mean, is not really useful. Okay, so these are all the statistics on the database, which are nice. But then the other thing that we want to do, we want to have live statistics. Live statistics like the one that I shown you before, right? Like these ones. And these live statistics are, I mean, some are interesting, others are not very interesting. I think we looked at those statistics very little. So we need to be a bit careful to avoid doing something that is really totally useless, that at the end we will never use. But, you know, so the thing I need to understand is how are we actually retrieving this stuff? Because so there is the static view on the database, and then we have the dynamic view generated by the server at runtime, okay? And these statistics are basically telling you what is happening in the game at a particular time. Now again, I don't remember too much, so I need to... Is the Mac Mini done? No, it's still working. Unfortunately, the Mac Mini stopped and I had to restart it. There was a bug. Is there data player movement overlaid on maps? No. That would be kind of very, very heavy to get, because it will be real time, and I mean we could, but I don't know what we may use it for. So this one has a number of files, okay, that are generated on the server. Now I need to go and check where they are, because I don't remember where they are. So I think that they are here somewhere, right? So here we are in the production machine, and so in the legacy server. And actually, as you can see, there are a number of logs that are getting generated, right? For example, there is a report NPC XML, which I have no idea who is generating it. And it's basically empty anyway. This one is empty. But then we have another one, which is the report.xml. And this one is actually valid. So he has the number of players and how many NPC died. Now, I don't know exactly in which period of time, but So 49 people died and 4,800 NPC died. We had 100,000 items sold, and it is the total value in terms of money. And it is the printout of the people that are on the server right now. And then I don't know why we have these NPC positions. Because this one was for the real-time NPC tracking, but I don't know if we need it, but this was for the real-time NPC tracking, so that you can see where the NPC are. The problem is that we have so many but yeah. So this report, okay. So let's try to document this a bit because it's so hard then to figure out. So basically in the main directory of the server, yes, in the main directory of the server. So in the main server dir, we have report, what was the name? Report.xml. Right? So this report.xml should be generated by let me which contains this data. Now, it is sample data, let's say, but basically it's two sets. So is a first set where you have the server report time, you have the current time. This number, I have no idea what is it. You have the number of players connected, 13. You have the NPC death and birth. You have the number of player death. You have how many items have been sold, the value, the total money in and the total money out. The total money in and total money out is for the economy manager, because the economy manager needs to know what is the flux of money that we have in the game, right? There is a first set. Then there is a second set with this date. So let's say first set is global data. Then we have a second set, which is one line for each player connected, right? And it is really giving, I think that these are the active player connected right now, right? I think so. Yes, this should be the player in theory connected right now. Wait, I lost myself. I was here. Yeah. So one for each of the player connected. Yes. And so it gives you the character ID, the guild, the title, the security, the kills, the death, the suicide, the position, and the sector. Okay, that's fine. So I think this one we may need it. And then you have a kind of a third section. I think it's better to call it section. With NPC data and real-time position. Right? And real-time position. Yeah, in theory we could put the position of the players as well. So if you want the real-time position of the player, we could do it. I just don't know for what we can use it, but yeah, maybe we can use it though, because we can say, you know, which are the areas that are more populated or which are the areas that the players are using the most. There could be a way. So, and this is basically completing this report. Now, I have no idea from this report, or at least I don't remember from this report, how do we get it to the graph, right? I don't freaking remember. Okay, let me save it like this because it's already a good page where we have some stuff. So who is generating this? I think the easiest is if I search for server report, but I think it's this class that I'm looking at now. No? Server report is server status. Yes, it should be this one. Yes. So this class, we don't have it in Unreal yet. I didn't port it, but I want to port it. So I want to make it part of the new engine as well. I don't know how hard it is to port it, but you see, yes, report client, report NPC, yes. Okay, so this one is so let me say that this report is generated by which contains the following data generated by server status class in, let me also copy maybe the full path so we have it. Okay. So this is generated by this class, right? Now, I don't think that with this we can really generate these graphs, right? I mean, we can generate the total online, yes, but how do we generate for example, characters in account registered per hour? This one, I mean, if we have only this information, we cannot get it, right? We cannot get it from here. So there must be another report somewhere else. Unless that one is reading, maybe that one is reading the database directly. That could be. Because players online, I can get it from that file. But character register per hour, I cannot get it from that file. Player death rate per hour, I can, because there is the information in the file. Mob death rate per hour also I can, and value of goods sold I can. So only this one, I don't know how it's generated. Characters and account register per hour, which by the way is interesting, huh? Okay, how do we discover how this thing is generated? Okay, so the main tool that we were using is this RDD tool, which I don't know if if it's still existing, but anyway, at that time was existing. And I think we have a number of batches in our cron tab, which are actually executing scripts for example. We have this jobber SVN, right? Which I have no idea what it does. We have this jobber SVN. Let me just check there are no password in it. Is going to SVN and is extracting something from SVN. I don't know exactly what, but I have no idea what this thing is doing. I'm watching it, but absolutely have no idea. Run tasks. Interpolate the values. What the hell is that? Generate directory hierarchy in archive format is indicated by jobber archive. Perform the complete process of running tasks, committing to SVN and publishing packages. Load configuration files. What the hell is this doing? I have no idea what this thing is doing, boys. Zero. It's running on our machine since forever, and there is probably a reason why it's doing this, but but I don't know. It's running every 12 hours. Let me check the other files. There is another one. Report. There is another one that seems to be working on. Yeah, there are a few. There is another one that seems to be generating active characters. I think this one is used for my plane. Yes, this one is used for my plane and is putting information of who is online, because I think if you go to my plane, you can see if a certain character is online or not, right? So for example, we had, I mean, assuming that they are visible in my plane, I'm just thinking, is this really, I mean, do we need this? I think we already have it in this file. Probably the reason is that we didn't want on my plane to query this file again. Yeah, the problem is that some of these people don't have the character active, but if you search, I don't know, my name, right, here you see this offline, and I think that this one is the one generated by this cron job. So it's basically giving information of which are the players that are online at that particular time, and I think that that is put into, yes, into this table, which is called active characters. Yes, and it's telling you the character ID and the current sector, right? Yes. I'm not completely sure how we can He's searching for character ID. He's searching for character ID and sector in, I think he's searching in the same file. Yes, yes, yes. Character ID and sector. So I think he's opening the same report, right? Okay. So let me do this. Let me document this one as well, because otherwise we will forget. There is a my plane dynamic view. So this one is generated by this cron job, which is called which is actually under my plane, so it makes sense. So generated by this. Generated by this, it takes the same. It takes the report XML, right? It takes the report XML present in the main server there, and reads. Is basically reading two things. Is reading character ID and sector, and this one is generating in sector and putting this info in the my plane database. And the way it does it is through this query, right? Is through this query. Insert interactive character, blah, 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 blah. Now, do we care about this? Well, we care at least to know it, okay? At least to know that we have this process that is running, because maybe in Unreal we would like to do something similar. Now, I think in Unreal, my plane, probably we're gonna change it a bit to be more in-game than outside of the game, but, and so this is probably gonna, you know, disappear. Then we have another thing. Let me see this one. More check kill. There is another script which is called check kill, which is executing. This is just to wait. This one is just to NPC status. I think it's just trying to understand if the NPC client is up or down. More report list, no. No. But anyway, I don't think this one is very relevant. I don't think we need it. I still don't understand how we do the other one, the RDD tool. I mean the character created and logged in. But I think we probably do it. I think we probably do it with this RRD. There should be an RRD tool somewhere. There is also this other one, which is called XML Reports, but these ones, are these one updated? Nah, these ones are not updated in super long time. Online time, count 90. For example, here we had 90 players connected. And this was the names of the player connected. Characters, but account total, character total. But I have no idea who is printing this one. I mean, who is generating this thing? I don't even know if it's something that, because it's something that we don't use anymore. So I'm just searching if by any chance, sorry, I'm not reading the chat since like half an hour. Don't give bad idea to talent. No, it could be a reasonable idea, but I don't know if we want to have it. I don't know who's generating this one, but I would be interested to see how this RRD tool is working. There is an RRD update.pl. Sorry, just a second, because I have no idea if there are passwords in there and so yes, this one is doing actually select from characters. So it's doing select from PS character, RRD update, characters RRD. Select count from characters, execute. It's doing it with the delta. Okay, it's doing it with the delta with the previous one and the current one. I understand. So it's very simple the way it does it. It's just yeah. The online PS online .rrd. So the way it does it, right, is basically to do a query regularly, to do a regular query of how many accounts we have in the database. So in theory, if you delete an account or if you delete a character, that number will go down, will be negative, right? But it's doing nothing else than generating, that running the query, right? So, okay, so that is kind of interesting. But it is again just a database. When showing the online or offline status of the character, right? So we need to understand what of this we want. So of all this mess of stuff, right? What do we want? Because here we have, just to summarize, we have the static view of the database with all these statistics, which I think are kind of useful. We have the dynamic view that is basically getting the active players and the NPC kills and the money. And then we have another kind of static view Let me add it here in the list. So we have another static view generated by RRD tool directly. And the static view is basically doing the select, right? I mean, some is still getting from this report. But some is getting directly with this, you see? Yes. So, so for accounts and characters created, right? The RRD tool is executing regularly every X minutes. I don't know how much it is, but anyway, it's just doing this. It's doing nothing else. It's doing a select count from account, and it's doing a select count from characters, right? And is putting this information inside. This populates, for example, ps character.rdd and the ps character online mobs. Sorry, ps character accounts. Okay. And ps character accounts. Then is reading report.xml, which is the same report that we had above, right? Is exactly the same report. And from that one is extracting the people online and extracting the people online, the mobs, the player deaths, and the economy, right? So economy, player deaths, NPC birth and death, and player online. Okay, so finally I understand how this whole thing works, okay? Because we did it so long time ago that I completely lost track, you know, of all the statistics that we have. I completely lost track. So without this page, I really couldn't do it, right? Okay, so I think that the minimum that we can do now, is this RD tool still something today, or it basically doesn't exist anymore? Let me check one of those files, by the way. So, for example, PS Player RRD, right? In theory, there should be a PS Player RRD somewhere. Ah, yes, it's here. So in reality, these ones are all updated here. PS Character RRD. Is it readable or... No, it's not readable. It's a binary file. It's a binary file. Okay, but this RRD tool was basically a way to generate graphs based on data. Now we can search if he's still alive. I don't know if he's still alive. RRD tool. Maybe there is something better these days. I don't know. The first time it was created was in 1999. Wow. But the latest version is 2019, so it seems to be kind of still alive. It's kind of still alive. Now, I have no idea which version we are using there. And if it's still compatible with... I have no idea. RRD2. RRD, because RRD update seems to be the one RRD update seems to be the one that does the query and everything. It's working in Perl, so maybe everything is RRD graph, RRD tool. Yeah, I think it's a kind of a Perl library. Okay. I think it's a kind of a Perl library. The question is if we should still use this, or if we should switch it to something else. Projects using RRD2. Are we listed here or not? We are using it. No, we are not listed. Pity. There has been stable releases until 2019. Let me search for RRD tool alternatives and see if there is anything. I mean, we can still use this one. I'm just trying to understand if there is anything that is newer. Highly scalable real-time graphics system. As a user, you write an application that collects numeric time series data. You're interested in graphing and send it to file processing backend. Yeah, the only importance for us is that it should be working on Linux. But yes, I see a Linux and Mac. Oh my god, look at the comment. This comment is not very nice, I have to say, but this comment is not very nice. I think he has a kind of his own UI. The other one was a bit simpler because it was working just with images, and I think it's nice to just generate images. So we can revive it. I don't know. I don't know how I can check my RRD version or something. It would be nice to know. It'd be nice to know which version we have. The problem is that if he's I don't know, I have no idea. I can do a find under under here. I mean, it should be under tools. Yes. Dump and restore and files. What is dump sh doing? Not much. No, but I don't understand where is this thing residing. I don't understand where does it resides. Is it just a plugin for? Let me try to understand the installation. So maybe. RND 172. So in theory, we should have this somewhere. We should have. We should have this bunch of stuff. Lib2. Is it going into a database? No, I think it's going into a file. Now I need an installation guide. Is it a command? Ah, fuck. It's a command. It's actually a command. Okay, so probably it's installed as a... Okay. Fuck. Yeah, it's under user bin rrd tool. So it's actually installed as a command. So our version is 1.4.8. Okay. So it's installed as a command. So, but the stuff that you download here, so you have to make it, because there is a configure, a make file. I don't know. I can revive it. Okay, so at the moment we have it in the old machine. Obviously, I guess we don't have it on the new machine. I can try, but I don't think it's default, right? Is it default somehow? I don't think so. No. Can I apt-get this thing? Apt-get what? Install? Oh shit. Yeah, it's part of the standard distribution, I guess. The problem is that this machine has few issues. As you can see, this one, I have a bit of a problem with this machine, and I have to remake it. So I have to reinstall it from scratch. But I never had the willingness to do it. Hello, Archist. RD2 is an Ubuntu package. Yes, I see it. So it seems to be that you can just get it through apt-get. I was thinking it was an external tool, but no, it's default. Right? But on this machine, unfortunately, I cannot do it because I have... It's too long to explain what I did to this machine, but I really destroyed it. Because I tried to... I installed a server version, a server-only version of Ubuntu with no head. And then I decided that after a long time, 1 year later, that I wanted to have a bit of the UI. So I tried to install X on top. And the X was requiring me to have a slightly different version of kernel. I don't know why, but anyway, it was saying that the kernel was not okay. So I decided to update the kernel of the machine. And this is where my nightmare started. And basically I couldn't go forward or backward anymore. And so I'm stuck exactly at this particular release and on this machine, and my apt-get is not working anymore because it's always complaining that my firmware is not updated the way that it should, and so it's basically upset about everything. And so I cannot install anything else. But anyway, I mean, I will remake this machine one day. I don't know when, but I think one day I will have to remake it. At the moment, it's the one that we are using for the Unreal server, so I cannot really touch it too much. So today PHP. Let me look at that in a while. Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of PHP, but kind of long time ago, so I'm not fluent, but I can read it and okay, so sorry, I was distracted by some messages. So what do we want to do? So we understood the tool. Okay, so let me just take a note that which I think is a good note, that the RRD tool can just be got with okay. So RRD tool is a standard package, right? You can get it with apt-get RRD tool, right? At least in Ubuntu, but I think maybe also in other places. So that's nice. So for the installation, I think will be fairly easy. So maybe we can use the same one generate those. And basically, this guy is doing a very small trick. So he's taking accounts, characters, and then he's taking the information from report XML. The point is that today, report XML is not available in Unreal. And it is something that I want to do. But first I wanted to understand all this, okay? Now that we understand it and we have a refreshed view, I think we can. Okay, let me just check the wish list. So the wish list was an idea of all the reporting and statistics that we may need for the game. And it was speaking about account registered by quarter and account login at least one time by quarter. And this basically we can already do. Hours connected, you know, because I think that after I did this, I think I did it myself, and is this one, because you see the titles are pretty much the same that we have in this list. Races in the percentage of all the characters. And the one with this one, for example, we miss the races count, but that would be also easy to, or maybe I have it. No, I don't have skill character, but this would be easier to add as well. Well, maybe new characters, including the ones with no connections. And new characters with time greater than 0. Retention time. Yeah, so so also we have new accounts and new accounts with at least one login. Yes, but I think that the majority of this list, okay, so for example, the one that is missing is this one. Races in percentage of all the characters and ones with 10 plus hour of gameplay. So this is basically to understand which are the races that the people like the most. Okay? And this is a very simple query. I mean, it's very simple. I mean, I can do it now. It's super simple. I don't know if we want to do it overall, or again, we want to do it by release, but potentially overall is enough. The average of the difference between the account creation and last login by quarter. Yeah, this is kind of a this is not as the same as the retention, because the retention is calculated as how many hours these people actually played, right? Is something different. So this is saying how many people lasted between 3 and 30 minutes, 3,044. How many lasted more than 30 minutes? How many played more than 2 hours? How many played more than 10 hours, and so on, right? So basically these ones, more than 256 hours. Well, maybe it's enough, this number, right? So if we manage to have people play between 10 and 32 hours, I think they still enjoy the game, right? So this is just to understand our retention by release and by quarter. Now this has been generated a long time ago, but I think it's a different one compared to this. So this is basically players returning over the years, right? I don't know if it's really interesting, but could still be somehow interesting. So like, yeah. But I don't know. I think these two are missing at the moment. All the rest we have. So let me edit the wish list and describe the analysis package. Let's say the majority was implemented. We miss, because the majority I think I implemented myself. The majority we miss, no, the majority implemented, we miss these ones. Okay, so I think we can list the ones that we are missing. So we are missing the races. We are missing the average time. Average of all the stats for user with a certain amount of hours, you see? So this one is exactly the one that I created. Also the one about the skill. This one is missing. Average damage done by a character to an NPC. This will be very, very powerful statistic for the people in the rules, because you will be able to see by experience. I think this one we really, really need, because basically this is a way for us to balance the game, you know? So if you see that people are making millions of damage at the beginning for some reason, then there is something broken. I think it should be done by character rank or by skill. So like, I want to know after 10 hours of gameplay. Well, but the problem is that now, because the damage by skill rank we know already, okay? Because we have our formulas and we know that someone at rank 20 in, I don't know, longsword is doing that amount of damage. Even if it depends about the strengths and other stuff, I think the best would be the percentage compared to the NPC health. So which basically means how much time is taking you to destroy that particular monster. But I think this one is an already refined, very refined statistic. Okay, let me copy them, but I'm not fully sure that these two are really relevant. Number of kills used each day, a number of kill characters each day. This one we already have, because we have it in the mob birth and death, and on the player birth and death. So that we have it already. Wealth possessor generated. How many trias an average user has after a certain amount of hours? That is the one that I did already. So we have it under money. Character money. So this one we have it already. Apart from maybe some exceptions, but how many items an average user has after a certain amount of hours connected? I don't know. This is a bit weird. I don't think it's very relevant, actually. I would skip it. Highest amount of tria virtual money owned by a user. Yeah, it is very easy to do. It's just one query. Maybe we can display it, but it's very simple. How many trias virtual money an average guild has a certain amount of hours of existence in the bank? That is very interesting. The money that a guild may have, even if people may keep the money on themselves, but I think is relevant. And I would say another thing that is relevant is the number of guilds that exist and with how many people. Even if that one, I think we have it in the main website, no? I think we have in the main website. If I go under guilds, There are the guilds here with the number of members in each guild and the founding date. I don't even remember how this is generated, but it's probably taken from. This is a good question though. How is this even generated? How does it know? Ah, yes, it's just querying the database. Because the number, yeah, it's querying the database. This is querying the database, but there is a good statistic. The problem is that, you know, all these statistics are all scattered around and they are very hard to find. But yeah, so let me put this one. So this one maybe should be even in the game, you know. I think it would be nice to see the active guilds inside a game. So you can ask around, because how many people will click on this page? How many people will go to the main website and click on guilds? I think so few people did it. I think so few people. And now there is a cutoff at 6, but I think if this thing was in the game, maybe people would be more interested, right? Let me just add another one, which is this one. So we can say main website statistics. So we have a guilds page. Which is listing the top guilds with creation date and number of members. I think is yeah, we need to kind of decide which one we need for real and put them all in one place. Highest amount of money owned by a guild in the bank. Yeah, that's also interesting. Details about a complex. What is the complex? Wealth of a guild, including and excluding money in the bank. So meaning getting the player money as well. So you sum up. Yeah, I think that could be also a good one. So did you sum up about the total wealth of a guild? So basically, there is summing up money of each player in the guild, right? Because this gives us an idea of how much money they can spend and how much money we can drain with some activities, you know, like selling a guild house or then what? How many users use crafting for creating new items? Number of crafted item per day. Number of crafted item used versus looted item. Average value of crafted item. Average value of looted item. These are very interesting ones. I think we don't have any of that at the moment, but these are very interesting statistics because today, you know, I cannot say if, for example, this one, no? Number of crafted item used, now here the keyword is used, versus looted item. So we could scan the inventory of everyone and see how many crafted items they have and they have equipped, right? And this will give us an idea if actually crafting is useful enough in the game or not. We can also ask to the player, but you know, sometimes when you ask to a guy, a single person or 2 or 3 people, it's very hard to get an objective view. While if you're just querying the database, you have an objective view. I think these are interesting statistics. But yeah, the majority of those I already created. And I think we're just missing a few. So now the question is, do we want this? I think yes. Do we want it in a dynamic way? I would say yes. How this will be integrated with the rest? Because the problem is that it is a bit of a mix, you know, it's a bit of a, because the trick is the following. Everything that we can do on the database one time every X amount of seconds is always a good idea to do it that way, right? Instead of doing it like runtime with the server, I guess. Even if some of those queries are very heavy, right? Some of these queries are very, very heavy. For example, we have a few, which are this one, completed quest and pending quest, which is basically telling us if a certain, I mean, how many quests have we completed? No, sorry. How many times a certain quest have been completed? And maybe we will see that some quests have been completed very, very little. And if those quests have been completed so little, it means that or they are broken, or they are not fun enough, or they are too hard, you know, or there is a problem anyway with that particular quest. But all of that we can get from the database. And yeah, so I think that all of this is very relevant. And I'm just thinking if this is very relevant or not. I mean, the dynamic view, because the dynamic view is telling us, I mean, do I really care how many times player died? I don't know. I think I don't really. I mean, it's not the most important information that I need, right? Now, how many items have been sold and the value? I think I'm more interested to know how much loot has been dropped by an NPC to evaluate potentially how much influx of money. Well, which is the same as this one, by the way. Yeah? Is the same as this one. Because you get the loot and then you sell it. The only problem of this is that I don't understand the period. So this number has been generated over a period of what? 1 hour, 10 hours, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year. So it's not very clear to me. The tick, because I think that this thing is going into our into these statistics, right? Value of goods sold by player per hour. Okay, per hour. Here is saying per hour. Per hour. So if per hour is correct, well, per player though, I mean, are we dividing by the average number of player online or what? Because per rate per player per hour. I don't know exactly how we are doing that calculation, but this one, no, what I can check because definitely there is a rate, right? There is a rate in the cron tab. There was a rate. Server status. I think this server status. Wait, I think this server status has a rate at which is running. Report rate. Intervals in milliseconds to generate a report file. Okay, so this report rate is the time in milliseconds that we are generating that stuff, right? And this report rate is coming from here. Okay, the default is 1000 milliseconds, so it's 1 second, but I hope this is not the rate we use, otherwise will be too much. But yes, there is a configuration which is plane shift server status rate, which I can go and check. I need to do it here in the other screen because that configuration file is containing also password and all stuff for sure. So this config, I think, is the main server config. I think. So it should be under PS server plane shift and then PS server CFG. Maybe. Let me see if there is a rate. No, there is no rate. Yes, there is. 1000? No, I don't believe it. Are we really generating this every second? No, I don't believe it. No. Every second. This report XML is generating every second. No, I don't believe it. I think it's 1000 seconds or something. Every second. No, every second, no, please. Every second is so much to print a file. Please, no. Don't do this. It's 20 years we are generating this thing every second. I cannot believe it. Oh my God, we are. Look at the time. Holy shit. No, I cannot believe it. We are generating this file every second. Okay. Okay, well, our server is pretty good, I guess. We are writing to disk 224K text file with all the calculations that are in it every second. Oh my Jesus. Oh my Jesus. And this is not the only one, by the way, because test log XML, which I have no idea what it contains. More test log.xml. What the fuck is this thing doing? It has been generated now as well, so someone is there are players online. This is the list of players with the name, the guild, and the last bucket. Oh my god, we are generating all these once every second. Test log.xml. But sorry, this test log Tiger is stuck. Okay. Hello, Monty. Good evening. We are investigating a bit about statistics and what our server can produce in terms of statistics, and we are just checking. Write XML to log file. Test log file. We basically have two logs. I'm a bit, so what are we reporting here? What is this doc? Where is this doc coming from? That I'm a bit confused. Doc system create document. Okay, doc system create root. Doc write to log test file, but root node. Client log. Client status logger. Client status logger. Who is this guy? Client. This is another logger. Logs client status. There is another guy that is still logging data. Yes, exactly. Player security, client ID. I have no idea why we do this, by the way. Who is using this? This I have no idea who is using it, but basically I will remove the IP just for I will remove the IP for privacy, but basically is giving so we have two files. So the server status class is generating two XML files located in the main server there, right? And so one is report XML, right? Contains the following data. And then another one, which is also generated every second, by the way. Oh my god. Yeah, the other one is only 4K, so the other one is fairly simple, but still, you know, it's kind of insane. So it contains the following data. Let me just take one, but I will remove the sensible data. To do it, I need to do this. just because there is some IP of the person. Okay. Who cares about IPs, you say, but okay, so what it contains this, right? But I have no idea who is using this. I mean, what is the point? I think we just logged it. In fact, it was called test log. So it was probably a test, but we are still logging it today. And we are logging the name of the player, the security level, the client num, which is not really relevant for anyone, but is basically the internal ID that we keep at runtime. The player ID, which is actually the database ID. Then the guild name, the guild title, if the guild is secret or not, and then we have the IP address and the last packet, which I have no idea what is it, but it's probably the type of so the last connection, the last type of message that is sent us, right? And this is basically for every player that is online. So for each online player, right? For each online player. Now the rate, so the time of writing, how do we say this? The time, the frequency. The frequency of write is defined in plain shift config. So if I go psserver.cfg and I search for rate, yeah, so the frequency of the write is the log name, and frequency of the write is defined in psserver.cfg, and these are the different settings. Now the test log is not defined, but okay, so it is in milliseconds, boys. It is in milliseconds. Okay, totally crazy. Even if I think that there is a reason for that, because probably the graphs that we are generating, so these graphs probably also have a certain frequency, and so they are probably reading at a certain frequency, but I don't think that they are reading at every second. But yeah, definitely the speed at which you update the file should match the speed that you are expecting in the graph, right? So yeah, but every second makes no sense. I don't know why we kept it that way, but makes no sense. No sense. I mean, it's super detailed. It's super detailed statistics, but I mean, we don't really need it that detailed, right? We are not driving a remote rover on Mars that we need a frequency update so often, right? We are not. Okay, that was a good finding. It was an interesting finding. Let me try to change the. Let me try to change that rate in production. Let me put it at every 10 seconds and see what happens. And anyway, if we make so every 10 seconds, what is it? 60,000? 60,000, huh? What? 60,000. Okay, I changed it. I changed it in production. So now is 60,000. So it's every 60 seconds, which, you know, I think it makes more sense. Where will be available at the next server restart, but maybe we'll make things a bit less laggy, because, you know, if the server has to write down this kind of files every second, and he's writing down 220k files that he has to generate through XML, and so it means that he needs to read all the stuff and generate it. Yeah, it's fairly crazy. So we really need to change this default. Okay. So what we want to do, I think this was a very good research, huh? So that we know what we have and we know a bit of what we want. Now, the status class. So yeah, I can port to Unreal Engine the server status class, right? So I can port this reporter, which is working on XML, exporting stuff and such. The question is, is this RRD tool reading only XML, or is it reading also something else? Now, because XML is kind of expensive, you know, to write and to read. And if we can have just the comma separated, I think would be much better for me. Yeah, we'll have to study it a bit, but I think you can pass, like it shows here, is passing just simple values. So I think it will work also with simple values and not with XML, because generating XML and reading XML is kind of expensive, right? So you can do it, but you can do it if you are doing something that is not really requiring performances. Okay, so I think my question at the moment is, of the dynamic part, right? Of the dynamic part, what do we really need? What do we really need? I think that the one that I really need is the number of players connected per hour on average. That is a statistic that is nice to know, right? Because you want to see during a day the hours that are the most busy and the one that are not. So I think that of this report, the client count is the one that I really care. The rest, okay, is still interesting. By the way, I don't know how 13 people can kill 4,810 NPC, but so I don't know if this number is really correct, but maybe it is over the course of 1 hour or 1 day or from the beginning. I have no idea. 4,810 is an insane number. Probably it is an incremental number from the beginning of the server start. Yeah, that's probably what it is. So probably this one starts at 0 when you start the server, and then every time you are reporting, you are adding numbers, and so the RRD tool knows that this has been generated at a specific time, and so it can he can do the delta. So he can do one minus the other, right? One minus the previous, and he knows how many have been killed, right? I think this is the way it works. I think it's the same for everything else, for the sold items, for the sold value. So this is the total sum up to now. And by the way, we can see it because if we go into the source, we definitely have a sold value, right? And I think that this sold value will just be incremented continuously by... So you cannot really read that number by yourself, you know, you need to look at it in perspective of time, which is what the tool is doing. Yeah, you see, it's just adding the value. So yeah, it's from server startup. Okay, maybe this one we can mention it here. While the client count is the actual number, right? So we can say client count. So this thing, client count is the current number of active, or no, let's say of connected players, right? While all other statistics are incremental since the startup of the server, right? Which makes way more sense. The problem is that you cannot read it. You cannot read it by yourself. You need to have the tool draw the graph by time, and then you know it. I hope it takes the now as a time, but yes, I'm pretty sure it does. Is this RRD tool available on Windows? Because I can try to install it here and we can make some test. I think it was available on Windows, right? Or not? No, I think it's only Linux. It's only Linux. Wow. Hey, or Chigwin Windows, but okay. Yeah, but Chigwin Windows, GG. Also, it's not been updated. This is 1.5. We are at 1.7. Nah. Is Linux only? Okay, I can use it on Linux. It's not a problem. I can use it on the other machine, and we can do some tests. So basically, I think that what we learned, is that these statistics are okay. They are based on time. This one are incremental, and I think it would be interesting to see how the statistics go over time. So I think all of that is very cool. So we need it. So we need this thing to be written to disk, and so to do that, because you know the other question would be, should we write it to disk or should we write it to a database? Right? I don't know. Again, the question is if the RRD tool is easy to populate from the database, but I think it's pretty much the same, because we are anyway having a kind of a Perl script in the middle, which is calling him. So if we do a select from database, or if we just open an XML and then send it to him, I think it's about the same. I think it's just the controller, you know, that is doing the job, and then is feeding it into the tool with a specific template. Yeah. But for now, I think we can keep it on files. If we print it out at a relatively low pace, and also if we don't print out all the NPC, like, because now in that file we are printing out all the NPC positions, which is an absolute overkill. Absolute overkill. I think at the moment we should only print this line, one line. Only print one line, because knowing exactly where the players are, I don't care. Knowing exactly where all the NPC are, I don't care. I care about this. I care about the economy, I care about the kills, and I care about the player count. So this line is the only line that we should print out at the moment. Okay, so to do this, so it took me a bit to arrive to this point, but you know, I always want to do things bottom up so that I understand what I'm doing. So to do this, I think the easiest for us is just to take these two files, which is basically server status, and import them into Unreal and convert them to Unreal. They're very simple anyway. There is nothing crazy about them. They are standard triggers. Yes, they are standard triggers that we can already process through the event manager, right? So it should be fairly easy to bring in. It should be fairly easy to bring in. And you know what? I need to make a bookmark to. Yeah, I need to make a bookmark to this. In my PS, I will put a shortcut, and I will make it underscore planeshift legacy trunk, because every time I kind of losing my way, you know, and I cannot find this directory. Okay, so we will import these two files, and we will make them work. Server status cpp and server status.h. So this one will go into Unreal, right? Under server, yes. Okay, guys, I think I need to go to dinner now. But yes, we will put them here under server, and we will add them to our solution. Okay, and we will convert them as soon as possible. Tonight, we will do it tonight. Okay, I'm going to dinner. I'm going to be online again in about 1 hour or 2 hours. I think 1 hour is enough. So I will see you soon. So if you are new to the stream, please click on follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube, and also check our Patreon site, which is patreon.com/planeshift, where if you are joining Patreon, you can also access the alpha release. It's $3, which I guess is not a lot of money, and anyway, it makes us happy to see the people want to support the game. And yeah, until then, so see you in about 1 hour if you are still here. If not, no problem. And yeah, see you soon. Bye bye. Bye bye.